So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the start of the podcast.
And this is the start.
Yeah.
Okay, period.
You wanna?
Yeah, sure. So, welcome y'all to our first pre-recorded podcast. I don't know if I say that, but it's our first one, so it feels good.
It does.
We don't have to be here at a certain time, so that works with our schedules because we're both very busy. So, first of all, that. My name is Angel. Welcome. If this is your first time, especially welcome. You can follow me on Instagram at Avocado Papi. I'm an artist. I have a business with my boyfriend. It's called D&D Studios. We have a comic book coming out soon called Brujas, period. It's really looking like it's going somewhere. So I'm hoping that that's like our first big project that we are able to like just take off the ground, and we're able to just put out stories and be getting paid for those stories. You know what I mean? So that's the goal.
Yes.
Just in case if anybody's like new. I do have a Patreon. If you like my artwork, you can go and subscribe there, and you get little perks for becoming a Patreon. So for example, it goes to $3 to $9 in tiers. And then you get certain perks like, for example, early access to artwork that nobody else is going to see maybe. You're also going to get private access to my, access to my private community. And then also, if you do the $9, you get a free sticker. Well, not a free sticker, but you pay for a sticker designed by both me and Merlin, automatically sent to you. Yay. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. And I'm always going to build upon it, but we're just waiting for the numbers to come in. So, and that's the whole reason behind these podcasts, is to get my name out there, our name out there, so that we can grow gradually.
Yes.
So that's me. This is my roommate.
Sorry, my introduction is not as long as his. So.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, my introduction's so long.
He is just like a plug.
Period.
But that's a good thing, honestly. I think that's really great for business mindset. But my name is Audrey, otherwise known as first.generation on Instagram. You can find me on also twitch.tv, as well as... What else am I on? On TikTok?
Instagram, TikTok.
At First Generation. And I am not an artist, but I do play video games every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Or now I'm changing it to 7 p.m. since I have an early bedtime.
Period.
And this Wednesday, I'm going to actually be playing GTA 5. For the first
That's
time.
That's going to be so fun.
I know. The polls were all like, oh, yeah, we want to watch you play GTA 5.
Period.
I was like, fuck. Damn it.
Hey, that's better than a scary game, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. Well, I didn't let them have the option, really.
Period.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get that option yet.
Yeah.
Maybe for Halloween.
Yeah.
That'd be fun for Halloween.
I'll launch it like Halloween, and then maybe I'll start incorporating it slowly, because I know that people just really like to watch people's reactions to that. So watch out for that. Follow me on Instagram if you want to take a lead on these polls of what I play every week. Other than that, though, I also have a cooking Instagram. I'm gonna start posting a lot more on that, as well as on my YouTube channel, First Generation. And I'll be posting vlogs very soon as well. Hopefully, we'll see about that, honestly, because, well, we'll get into that whenever we'll get into that, our days,
because that's pretty,
or our weeks. Yeah.
But do you want to go first, since you're already talking about it?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, sure. So I have in my cup wine.
I see what you were saying now.
Because I need it.
Because I need my wine.
Yes, yeah, honestly.
You fucking alcoholic. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, just today.
Just today, I'll accept that.
Maybe. So how my week has been, it's honestly been pretty like chill up until like the last few days. Yesterday was Superhero Comic Con, which the both of us went to.
Oh, that was so much fun.
It was so much fun. It was cute. We met up with our friends over there, and like we went and got margaritas. And,
shout out friends.
Yes, shout out friends. What's up? But today, honestly, was like one of the more stressful days. And it's not even that it was stressful. It was just more frustrating, I guess. And also it made me reflect a lot on things that have happened to me in the past, and like the parts that I haven't healed yet. So I was trying to talk to my mom about like some budget things because my account got overdrafted, and it was just because I was waiting for a payout from my other like side job. And so like usually I get paid out every week on Mondays with my side job, and it hadn't hit my account yet. It still hasn't hit my account yet, so I'm a little suspicious. It's already the end of the business day, you know. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of fucking dumb, you know. And my mom, she sees that account that got overdrafted, and so she decided to like deposit a bunch of money in it so that I'm not gonna get the overdraft fee, which is fine. It's nice, and I love her and I appreciate her, but at the same time, like, it came with also the nagging, and it's not even like a like caring kind of nagging. It's more of like a, I'm going to try and fix this problem for you by giving you multiple solutions that aren't going to work for you and your lifestyle kind of situation. And I understand that, you know, people are like, well, suck it up, like go live with your mom, you know. That's what she suggests. She suggests either I go live with her and her husband and her dad, or my grandpa, or I go live with my dad and his brother, my uncle, and my brother in the same house. And I'm just like, okay, well, the thing is that the both of y'all are hoarders. The both of y'all have so much stuff, like brimming to the brim of like your cup. It is so full. Your house is about to explode with how much stuff you have just stuffed behind closets, and like just trash everywhere. And like you just don't clean out the things that you don't use. And even when, you know, you do try, you're like, well, maybe I could use it. And it's like been years since you've been using it, or it's food that has been expired, or like, you know, it's just stuff that you don't need really. Like, yeah, I understand it costed money at some point, but there's a point where if there's no more functionality to it in your life, that you don't need to have it. So I don't want to have an environment that is just so cluttered and messy, because that's going to like get into my mind space. It's going to get into my head space that, well, I am also a mess. I also like don't have all my shit together. Like, this has happened to me before, especially in our old apartment. It was so small and I had so much stuff. I didn't know how to downsize, because I also kind of had the hoarder mentality of like, oh, well, I paid money for this, so like I can't get rid of it now, you know. But as soon as we moved into this new apartment, I was like, fuck that. Fuck that mentality. I need to clear my space out. I need to have less things so that I don't have as much clutter, and my headspace can finally just be, you know, full of the things that my headspace should be full of, like my education and the ambitions that I have, like my YouTube channel, and, you know, me streaming my video games, and, you know, just being a person, and being able to have people over and not feel embarrassed that they see the state of my room or the state of my apartment, or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
just random stuff like that. And also, I just don't like living with my parents. I don't like living with my stepdad and my grandpa. I'm sorry, y'all. Love you guys, kind of, but like
Not the kind of.
but like it's a lot. Like, it's just so much, because like these are also people, but they don't understand that I am my own person. I have my own thoughts, I have my own beliefs, and they always try to force their own thoughts and beliefs onto me. And that's just something that I've had to deal with for a big portion of my life, and I don't want to go back to that like mind space again. And I literally broke down in front of Angel today, like crying, bawling, vomiting, you know, shitting.
The usual.
Just, yeah, the usual.
She has a Cancer moon.
Yeah. But honestly, like I've been pretty stable up until this point, because I thought that I was going to be taken care of. Like, the whole point of me going back to school and me not working while I'm back to school is because my mom and my dad were like, you don't have to worry about it. You know, your dad sent me money, so I'm going to send you that money whenever you need money for bills. And I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. Like, all I really need is rent. You know, that's just the biggest bill of my life.
Yeah, and then your side gig is more of like your groceries, the other side bills.
My other bills, like insurance, my phone, you know, and it pays enough to pay those bills.
Right.
And so now, like, that I had that overdraft just because of like a discrepancy on my side job's part and probably my bank, it's like caused this like whole tumbleweed to form between me and my mom of just like financial irresponsibility. And I'm just like, well, you have no place to really talk to me about that, because it's not, it wasn't my choice to be alive, first of all. Like,
Oh yeah, it
like,
goes to that way of thinking.
you know what I mean? But I don't want to think like that, but at the same time, like, I'm your child,
mm-hmm.
and I wasn't being taken care of all the way from 15 years old up until now. Like, I literally moved out of my house at 15 whenever I worked with her, and then I like eventually moved with my boyfriend to like a house with all of his friends. You know, like, I was bumming off of him basically up until I was 16, when I could actually work and afford to pay rent to them. So whatever, fine. You know, we all move past whatever struggles we are dealt with, but I like haven't healed that part of myself yet, and I haven't healed that inner child part of myself where my parents really neglected me, you know, and like their own personal problems were affecting the way that they could parent and the way that they showed up for me. And no, they didn't really show me any kind of financial responsibilities that they had. They never really had the opportunity to teach me about budgeting and finances. And I have been irresponsible with my money before, but that was because I've earned it all. And like, I tried to, you know, reason it out in my head. And I was telling Angel this beforehand, like, I did my best, you know, and I did my best because this is my livelihood. Like, I earned this money through blood, sweat, and fucking tears, like lots and lots of tears. The food industry is no joke, girl.
It's really not.
And
it's good money though.
Yeah. And now, though, I'm faced with this reality of I'm probably just going to have to go back, suck it up, and go back during the weekends to earn my bag, because like my parents cannot handle like having children and having adult children that, you know, still need assistance. And I only am leaning on them because they promised me this option of not having to work for 5 months, mind you. And it's only been 1.5 months since I started this program, and already my mom's like, okay, I don't think that we have enough money to sustain you throughout your education. And I'm just like, well, what? That's so crazy, because you haven't even sent me all of the money that, you know, my father has sent you. So why is it such a big problem? So we haven't had that discussion yet, but I plan on having that discussion when I'm a little bit more settled down. But I just kind of lost it, because I was just like, well, don't even give me that option if you don't think that that's plausible. Like, you have seen the money that's taken out of that account that we have together, because like that's just my bill paying account. I don't know. And you've been able to understand like how much I pay in bills every week, and like every day, every time that money gets pulled out, you are alerted as well, you know? And so it's just kind of crazy to me that she finally realizes like, oh my God, this girl has so many expenses, and it's not even just because of rent or food or, you know, going out. It's like actual bills, like student loans, credit cards that I used when I was in college, and like I'm still paying on it even though I've been out of college the last 3-4 almost 4 years now. So it's just kind of like, okay, well, you didn't help me with college at all. Like, I had to borrow money because I wanted to get a higher education. And like now with that degree that I have, I can't even get a job unless like an internship that pays. So I just don't see a point in, you know, you promising all of these things and I'm not getting anything from it. But I just was a little upset about how I was being treated at that time, or earlier today, I guess, and how she just still views me as like a child, and that I can't take care of myself, basically. But it's literally just because you told me that I didn't need to have a job. You told me that I was going to be okay if I didn't have a job and I just focus on my studies, because you guys got it handled, but y'all don't. And like if you had told me ahead of time, then I would have like tried to find a job at this point. You know, I would have tried to at least do something part-time other than just this side gig that I have, you know. But now that I'm faced with this reality of your finances are a little too much for us, now I have to scramble to like find a job because I don't think that they can help me pay the rest of my bills for the rest of this month, because like they just don't have the funds to. So yeah, it's just kind of stressful. I'm a little like on the wire, on the fence about a lot of things and a lot of people, and like just being around a lot of people who are super ignorant, and like they just have these beliefs and ideals and thoughts that they cannot change, that they are just so uncomfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable during that change. That's what's really affecting me right now, because I'm okay to be uncomfortable. That's why I decided not to have a job when I went to school. Normally I'm not like that. Normally I'm very like, I have
The
to have a
exact
job.
opposite. Yeah.
I need a full-time job. Even if I'm going to full-time school, I will exhaust myself to no end so that I can get the bag and get the degree.
Right.
But now that I'm here, like, man, I feel all out of sorts because I didn't properly like
Account for this situation to happen.
yeah, I didn't set myself up for success because I thought that it was going to be handled. And like normally I can handle everything by myself. But this time around, you know, I decided, okay, well, if they say to depend on them, I'll depend on them. This is the first time that I've really truly depended on my parents since I was 15. And they let me down literally a month and a half after they promised that they would be able to take care of me. So it kind of
very stressful.
Like, and it just made me, it reinforces that idea that I can't depend on my parents to be there for me either way. Like, I don't want to say that they were neglectful, but I do want to say that they weren't there for me during like some of the most crucial times. You know, they didn't believe that I had mental illness. They didn't believe that anxiety and depression are real. They still don't. You know, they still don't think that that's real. They don't understand that, even though they are going through it themselves, which makes me even more infinitely sad because I just want them to feel better about themselves too. Like what kid doesn't want that for their parents, you know? Even though they have not taken care of me since I was very young, I still feel bad. I still feel obligated, you know, to them because they put me on this earth. And I hate that feeling because, like, I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask to be alive. I didn't ask for this life, you know? And for them to kind of hold it over my head because I finally want to do something with my life. I want to be ambitious and, like, I'm finally picking myself up after a really difficult time in my life. Like, they don't believe in me. They don't believe that the things that I'm doing are actually for the better, for my future. And that really like struck a chord with me because it's just like I have been depending on myself for so long, and you tell me I can't depend on you, and you want to bring me down because of my decision to go back to school. And that makes me just sad because I really thought that I could depend on them. But sorry, I don't mean to be crying like
You're good. Let it out.
But
it's okay.
Yeah, I just like I wanted to share this because like
yeah,
we're all
people
human.
gotta know.
We're all human and we all go through things. We all have issues with, you know, people. It doesn't have to be your parents. It could be anybody. But it's okay to feel these emotions. It's okay to like talk it out with somebody that you trust and really come to an understanding of why you feel the way that you feel. And I just realized just now, like, okay, well, the reason why this hurts so bad is because I did try to depend on them and they couldn't even show up for me in that aspect. So it's really difficult for me to like love and respect them as parents because they can't even like do that much for me. You know, they couldn't even provide for me when I was their kid, still a kid, not even an adult yet, not even able to make money outside of the family yet, you know.
I feel like this. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't
go
mean to
ahead.
interrupt. Thank you for sharing, first of all. I feel like a lot of ethnic people do go through this, honestly, like any type of
They
demographic
do,
of
I
person.
know.
And it comes from a place of the parents feeling bad for not supporting their children and then wanting to overcompensate and overpromise. And then we're in this situation where all of a sudden the parent is overexhausted and overstimulated. And then that causes them to like kind of like, I don't want to say lash out, but definitely withdraw.
Yeah.
And so that leaves not only the parent feeling shitty, but the kid feeling shitty. And then all of a sudden the relationship is strained.
Yeah.
And now that you're an adult, it's up to both you and your mom, or in any situation when you're an adult, it's up to you to either repair that relationship and also pick yourself up and like get moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like the hard part. That's the unprivileged part of ethnic society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel you, girl. It's
But
okay.
it's just like I understand that it is like a part of my responsibility as an adult to try and fix this relationship with my mom, which I do, you know. I don't think that she even thinks that it's strained right now, which is the thing. Like
Your
she
mama's a
doesn't.
good mom. Yeah, well, she's a good person.
She's a good
She's
person.
a good person.
Yeah, and I understand that, but it's also just harrowing that she could be so ignorant like that. Like that she doesn't understand how much this affects
I mean, when you told me the
me and my emotions.
yeah, the mentality of like not understanding that anxiety and depression are real, that's like already setting yourself for like no success when it comes to your relationships, because as soon as you denounce anybody of those emotions, that's just not exactly how humans work.
And she tries to like be on my side, but then she'll say something completely contradictory to what she just agreed to, you know, because she doesn't even understand what she's agreeing with. You know, she doesn't understand what depression and anxiety is or what it looks like. Like maybe she's seen it, maybe she's felt it before, and maybe she's in it right now, but she also just doesn't, I guess, acknowledge it, you know. And
She probably like, because of her life, she probably is just automatically quick to just like I don't want to, what's the word, like just swallow it and just get back to work. You know what I mean? That's the mentality that I feel like a lot of parents who are immigrants have to go through.
Yeah, and I understand that. Like, that's how I was living for up until I was like 22. You know,
And
what
it's
I mean?
exhausting.
23. It is exhausting.
And you age like so much.
Girl, I know. Like, people tell me that I look a lot younger now than I did back then. Which
You had, remember your back, like
yeah, I know. Oh my god. It affects you like so. It affects you so physically, which is what this episode is actually about. But I wanted to ask you how your week was, because honestly, he also has had an interesting week.
It's been interesting, definitely. But first, I would like to say, like, if you're looking for, oh, sounds like Merlin's song. If you're looking for like a way to like help your finances or anything like that, I've been reading this book called, or I've been listening to this book called "Get Good with Money" by Tiffany, the Budgetista. So, she was in a real big hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was in the hole with
Yeah.
her debt. She got scammed out of like thousands of dollars. You know, like,
School's a scam. Yeah, period.
And that leads me into like something else, but it's fine.
We'll
We
talk
all
about
know
it
what
later.
they're doing. We all know what the government's doing right now. But that's a really good book, like a step-by-step guide in order to like get yourself out of like a really serious hole. Because she was, when she tells you her story, like it makes everybody else's story seem kind of like, oh shit, that's nothing compared to this bitch.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to her for a while, and she's really good.
Yeah.
So
That's good. I'll probably listen.
my week,
There you
it's
go.
been interesting. I got another job lined up, so that's good. I was not really happy with the job that I was at, and so it wasn't meeting expectations for like money, which is always like you know, always going to put stress on me, and then also my relationships around me, because you know, very much the same thing until like you're having to depend on people. And not everybody necessarily wants to be, you know, taking care. Yeah, depended on, because it's very stressful. And I totally get that, which is why I was trying to like pick myself up a little bit, and it worked, you know. I hustled for that job and I got it, which is good. I'm happy about that. I put in my 2 weeks. I had a conversation with my boss, and I just don't think, what's the word? We mesh well together, I guess. He's very like set in his ways. He's very much the person to be like, this is what's wrong with y'all's generation. And I'm very much the person to be like, oh yeah, because y'all's generation isn't fucked up at all, right? You know what I mean? Right. So we're just a back and forth kind of dynamic. And he gets really heated, whereas I get very like comical a little bit. Like I start making fun of him. And then it turns into that kind of dynamic. And that's not a good dynamic to have between a work or a manager / worker dynamic, business dynamic at all. Like totally ridiculous. But other than that, I've been feeling good, been working on the gym. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so sorry to hear about all that, honestly, because I definitely feel that. It brings up memories.
I'm like, I know you do.
Brings up memories. And we don't have to get into it, maybe another time, but I'm doing better than what I was when I felt a little bit trapped into this like situation I was in with my job. So that's good.
That's really awesome.
Yes.
Actually. I'm glad that you found a way out with another job, honestly. Yeah. That's a very good thing.
I mean, she was there. She even worked there sometimes, so.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It was a wild ride, that's for sure.
Wild ride. Yeah. Cancers.
No, my moon is that. So
I know.
It's a lot, you know?
It's a lot of.
Which also, by the way, like, just because I am drinking an alcoholic beverage doesn't mean that you should succumb to your vices each time that life gets a little hard. I am just doing this because it's my rest day from the gym.
Period.
And also because I understand what a healthy amount of alcohol. I mean, none of it is healthy. Okay, like, let's be real. Alcohol.
I mean, the Italians do it all the time. They live till 90.
Yeah, certain ones.
Certain ones.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, don't fall into your vices.
She's not gonna get fucked up. She's literally only gonna have one glass.
I'm only gonna have one glass. I only have enough for one glass anyway.
We have another bottle there if you want more.
No, not in front of the kids.
Not in front of the kids. Not in front of the kids. Period.
Yeah.
But that's me. Card of the day.
Yes.
Is the 5 of Rods. Ooh. So this card to me it can mean a lot of things. To me, it's like a very chaotic, a lot of people, a lot of energies to keep track of, a lot of passions to keep track of. It can mean chaos. It can mean a gathering of people that are sociable. You know, it can mean a lot of different things. For us, I would say that this is just a chaotic situation. We're probably dealing with a lot of different people, a lot of different opinions, a lot of different viewpoints, and it gets very overwhelming, and it gets a lot of like fire energy. Ooh. And that kind of, it could bring out the best in us in the sense of like, both you and me are Leo and Sagittarius. It could bring out the sense of like like, no, well, that in a negative sense, yes, attitude. But in a positive way, it could be outgoing and friendly and moving from person to person, very mingly. Or it can mean like, I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm going to snap here in a second. You know what I mean? That's what it means to me, at least.
I feel that.
What about you? How do you feel towards that card?
5 of Rods. Let me see.
Yeah, go ahead and look at it.
This is what the card looks like. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Zoom in. That's a cue in for future Audrey to zoom in.
Yeah. Thank you, future Audrey.
Thank you.
Honestly, it just looks like these guys are trying to bonk each other on their heads with these sticks, man. Mm-hmm. They're like either trying to move these large staffs or they're trying to bonk each other on the head with them.
Period.
And
those are both applicable.
You know, and both of those require a lot of effort, a lot of strength, and a lot of just like you can do it kind of like attitude, I guess.
For sure. You can do it.
Perseverance.
I like that. Deal. That's a good positive way to look at it, for sure.
Yeah, but the bonking on the head, not so cool.
Yeah, not so cool.
I feel very bonked right now.
I always describe the hard parts of life as getting slapped in the back of the head when you least expect it.
Yeah, nice good old molly wop.
It's like when you're like super happy and you're like laughing at a joke, and then your like parent like slaps you on the back of the head, and then you're like, oh shit, man, like it totally ruined my whole mood.
My whole brain is just
rattled.
Yeah, literally. Damn. Yeah, no, I like that card though. It seems very what's that called? Fortuitous.
Yes. I don't know what that means. I don't know the meaning of the word. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, cool. So I guess we'll just dive on in to the Thoughts That Think segment. And today is physicality, baby.
Period.
So I know our first question is, how did we begin our physicality journey? And what do you consider the physicality journey?
So, first of all, like in tarot, physicality is the pentacles. So whenever I think of physicality, I think of my body. I think of what I put in my body. I think of my money. I think of my living situations. I think of my hygiene, stuff like that. So stuff that has to do in the physical realm. So that at least that's how I view it. It's not just like working out. It's also a lot of different things like regarding like finances and health and stuff like that. Grooming, yes. So that is my definition for it. When did I start my physical journey? I would say I started taking care of myself, or at least I started working out when I was like in high school, I would say. But I didn't start taking seriously until college when I had my roommates, Tyler and Joseph. And shout out them.
Shout out.
Yeah. And it was fun. I then moved. I would go back and forth to like Corpus because I was only a student, like living in the dorms. And then my best friend Sergio was a bodybuilder. Is a bodybuilder. Oh, yeah. We're not really that close anymore, but I still consider him like a friend. And he would help me feel a little bit better and comfortable in the gym. So he would show me pointers. Nice. He would do things. And so that's when I learned most of the techniques that I know now. Nice. Especially when it comes to like diet and like, because he was the bodybuilders, they're like crazy about that stuff. So he taught me a lot. And then I worked at GNC with him. Oh, wow. So working at GNC gave me the time to like brush up on those informations. So I would say maybe like 2022 I started like focusing more on it. But it is until right now, like we became roommates, honestly, like I think 2-3 years ago. That I started taking it like super seriously because we started holding each other accountable. Yeah, that's true. You know, we did. Yeah. So, and I feel like we've come a long way, not only in strength, but like also in just like our minds. Yes. Like when it comes to like, how do we, you know, like keep going? Yeah, how do we stay consistent? Yeah, exactly. You know, so I would say about that. That's my answer. There you go.
That's good.
What's you? What's you?
What me? Physicality to me is basically the same thing. It's about the finances. It is about like how I care for my physical self. So how my skincare goes, you know, my morning rituals, like what do I do in order to make myself feel comfortable in my environment, in my situation that I'm in, being able to adapt to any situation and changes that might happen, either like with my health or with my environment or even other people's physicalities, like kind of affecting me.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah. And I also try to, like, physicality, though, it's very closely tied to mentality to me.
For sure.
Because I only started recently, like, going to the gym and actually working out seriously and, like, fitness and my physical human self, you know, very seriously because of all of the stuff that I've been through before. And Like it only really hit me after we had become roommates as well, that I'm like, I have to.
sorry.
It only ever happened like after that, because you were also very into like, oh, like I want to take care of myself, like this is the time for me to, and I was like, you know what, you fucking right, it
You
is
right,
our
bitch.
time to be at our peak.
Yeah.
Like this is as young as we are going to be. We can't get those years that we didn't go to the gym, that we didn't take our health seriously. We can take that back by taking care of ourselves right now. And so I started that journey whenever we became roommates, because I don't know, I felt like life had really kicked me in the fucking nuts before I
Damn.
met you. Yeah. I don't even have nuts, but I grew them.
I can tell you that it fucking hurts.
Yeah. So I think that took it took a lot on me. It took a lot out of me, because my mentality was so shit before I had met you. And when I had met you, like it was slowly starting to like repair and rebuild itself. And like you had given me the tools and resources to really start getting that mind to muscle connection. And that mentality of like, if I don't take care of myself, no one is going to take care of myself.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And if I don't take care of myself, how can I take care of other people?
That's right.
And I really felt like neglecting myself was just such a mainstay in my life.
It's not going to hurt anybody else but you.
Exactly.
Neglecting yourself, making like, because I'm the same way. Like when I go into a depressive episode, I stop drinking water. I stop nourishing myself. And that's something that that was a big problem in college. I was still working out, like trying to get bigger and like slim down. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. But I also wasn't eating. I wasn't drinking enough water. I was like drinking a lot.
Yeah.
And those are times when you got to kind of like face the music and be like, yeah, this isn't good for me. You know what I mean?
That's what happens. That's what happens. But at least you understood, and you like realized what you were doing to yourself, and you switched it up. You know what I mean? And I think that you've come a very long way, especially because I don't see you drinking like every day. You know what I mean? You hardly drink.
I don't drink at all even.
Yeah, literally. Like we had just gone out yesterday with a bunch of our friends, and I was like, oh, I'll get you a drink. And when we had gotten to the restaurant, he was like, no, I'm not gonna drink. I was like, what?
Well, I'm doing that for my birthday. Like I'm trying to like just slim down a little bit more, and it's working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I was really at a standstill.
Really?
Like with my weight, like it just kept fluctuating from 25 to 28, 228 to 225. And then I measured myself today and I was at 222, and I was like,
Okay,
period,
girl.
bitch, say less. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I don't really drink too much. And even when I go out, like people will buy me drinks and stuff, and I'll only drink like half of it, and I'll give the rest to Merlin. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
So
wow, nice. That's really good. Yeah, I just I guess our physical journeys has like come so far. And honestly, I have gained weight, but I have never looked better.
Right.
And I've never felt better, which is the main reason why I go to the gym now. Like
muscle weighs more than fat does.
Exactly. So that's why I'm not angry at it. And I'm like, I want to be a muscle mommy anyway. Like I want to be able to fucking stun on these hoes. I want to stomp on them if they try to fuck with me. So don't fuck with me.
Violence is never the answer.
Well,
they should know that.
Yeah, exactly. Don't touch me then. Yeah,
Period.
physicality meaning no physicality.
Meaning don't touch me, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess see if there's another question then, unless you have more. Oh no. Uh-oh. Can you respond to?
Yes.
Okay, and then I will question and answer myself while he does that. Let's see.
Not the ETA.
Yeah, what were we like before our physical / fitness glow up journey? Ooh. Okay, so I'll go first while you
Hold on, wait. Let's just pause for a second.
All right. Continue. That's for future me. All right. What were we like before our fitness youtube.com/physical glow up journeys.
Oh goodness. Insecure.
Yes.
Lethargic.
Period.
I'm still sleepy, but I was even more sleepy, if you could believe that, honestly.
I
Literally.
could,
I could.
because I literally live with you for
I
the
would
last
go
2
to
years.
work and I would be like just passed out,
Falling asleep.
like dead
Yeah, I
asleep.
know. It's crazy.
And then I would go to the gym really late, like at
Yeah.
10 to like 11. And that's not even a real workout. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was just like I get an hour workout maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
so I was very like that. Let's see what else. How was I? Irritable. I was very sensitive.
Sensitive.
Especially about my weight. As a Leo, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
I never would have asked anyway.
It wasn't you. It was other people. Also, like my parents were like very like I don't mean to throw them under the bus, but they were very shame inducing. I don't even know how to say that. What is the word for that? Like they would just make me feel shameful of like how my body was. You know what I mean?
I see that.
And so was my friend Sergio. Like he was very much like putting me down because of my body. So totally not motivating me in the or just not even motivating me at all. But they have like tough love mentalities, I would say. And I just don't work well with that. I'm too sensitive. And I was even more sensitive back then.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah.
Wow,
that was me before.
Yeah.
Wow. It wasn't cute. I was like I would like wake up like gagging. Sometimes. Yeah, like gagging.
Why?
I don't know. I still don't know to this day.
Oh.
I think it's because like I would just not eat, and so my body would have like a reaction.
Acid. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck? It's eating you alive.
Literally eating my stomach.
That's
and
crazy.
Yeah, it was a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Disclaimer for anybody that has like a eating disorder or is uncomfortable with eating disorders. But I was definitely not eating, and then I would eat very sparsely for like a couple days, and then I would binge.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is not good for your health at all.
No, it isn't.
And then I had heart problems. Like I would go to the nurse or I would go to the doctor and they would tell me I have heart problems. I have high blood pressure. Like it was crazy. Like my health was so bad.
Yeah.
And now like I'm reflecting on it. It's just kind of like, damn, I was like pretty bad. I didn't look bad. I didn't look that bad, but I definitely don't look as healthy as I do now. Yeah. And even like, I feel better as in like I'm more awake. I'm able to I'm more awake. I just feel better in general. What's she doing?
Nothing. I just hear the jingling.
Oh, jingles. I don't think the mic should pick it up.
No.
What about you? How were you beforehand? I feel like you're very irritable.
Yes, so much so. Well, before I think of myself like all the way from middle school up until like before we had lived together, because my mentality was pretty much the same, which was just like I just got to get out of my situation and I'll be okay. But it never was okay, even after I had moved myself from each situation, like year after year after year. I was trying so hard to work for something or someone or like some kind of like idea in my head that like I could be happy if I had this person, approve of me, or if I had validation from other people. And I like kind of ruined my mindset with that kind of thinking, that cyclical thinking of like, well, if they're not happy, then I'm not happy. Then that's the wrong way to think, for me at least. Like I don't think that it should be the way that anybody thinks, honestly. Like, yeah, okay, it's cool if you're empathetic with other people, but it shouldn't be to the point where you are affecting your physical health, your mental health for these other people. Like, just because somebody else is unstable with their physical health, with their mental health, doesn't mean that you also need to be at that level to communicate or to have common ground or interest with these people, or to have validation from these people. Honestly, validation from people really got me like thinking in my head that I'm fat. Like, ever since I was a kid, I always thought that I was fat. And I think that's an honest, like, ethnic person thing, because you dealt with that with your family, and I also dealt with that with my family. Like, all of my family members went through that stage with all of my older family members, all of my aunties, my uncles. They would shame us into
My
believing that
parents
we were
would
fat.
literally call me fat ass. Like they would yell that at me, like you're
Yeah.
such a fat ass.
Yeah, they would call us
Love y'all.
like, they
I
would
love
tell
y'all.
us every time that we um that we would eat, they would say, "Oh, you bao chao already, huh?"
What's
And
that
that
mean?
means to explode. Like, it literally meant that we were stuffing ourselves so full that we would explode.
Mm,
They
that's such a bad
literally
way to like teach that lesson.
they would tell me that my hair looks gross, that I'm basically a mop.
Damn, they would come for your ass.
Yeah, they literally said, "Oh, if we just turn Audrey upside down and then brush the floor with her hair, then we have a mop." Ha ha ha. Like, they would tell Derek that he's a human garbage disposal,
Oh my
because he'll eat
gosh.
whatever you put in front of him. And he's still in that mindset. Like, he still
Oh
is in that
no.
mindset of like, "Oh, well, whatever I have in front of me, I have to eat it, and I have to eat it all, or else, like, I'm wasteful, or like,
Mm-hmm.
I am the human garbage disposal, so why wouldn't I eat all this food in front of me?" And it's just like, no, Derek, like, that's not how you should be thinking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should be thinking, this isn't healthy for me to eat all this food. I am full, I am good, I don't want to eat anymore. But he has that mentality of like, well, I paid $11 for this buffet, so I'm gonna get my money's worth. And I'm like,
Not the buffets.
yeah. And I'm like, girl, no. Like, you don't need to eat like all of the food at the buffet to get your money's worth. Just
Mm-hmm.
eat however much makes you feel full, I guess. Like, even then, like, don't eat until you're full. Eat until you're satiated. Eat until you are like, I am no longer hungry, I'm good now. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? We were always stuck in that mindset because our family was so frugal. We had lived in a house with all of our aunties and uncles and cousins and grandma, grandpa, like, all of us lived in one house together when we first came to America, when all of us first came to America. And like, I understand that, you scrimp, you save, you want to make sure that all of us have food in our mouths and like in our bellies. But then when we finally, got our businesses off and we are finally at the point where we can take care of ourselves, now you want to shame us for like doing the things that you told us to do, which is like clean our plate and, you know, grow your hair out, or like, I don't know, just random stuff like that. It's just so contradictory to each other that it just makes me so like, it just catches us off guard, really.
For
And like,
sure.
it puts us into that mindset of like, your physical health right now doesn't matter as long as you fulfill these standards of ours. You know what I mean? And telling me that I'm chubby and telling me that I'm fat made me have eating disorders. Like it made me anorexic. So, trigger warning again. It made me anorexic. I literally thought that I was so fat and I would stop eating lunch every time that I went to school. And it also played into the fact that, like, oh, well, I don't have friends because I'm ugly, because I have really shitty hair, because I smell, because I'm chubby. Like, it would always be these physical factors, these attributes that I had or did not have, that made me feel unwanted and disgusting and like just looked at so horribly, because I didn't know how to take care of myself, because I didn't know that I wasn't chubby. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to dress myself. I didn't know like what hygiene was really. Like, nobody ever was able to teach me these things. Like, they would just let me play in a bathtub of cold water at like this much cold water in it, and I wouldn't even have like shampoo or like conditioner or anything to put in my hair. It would just be like, they would give me baby powder for like
Not
my
the
thighs
English.
and, yeah, my armpits, and like for my oily hair they would put baby powder in it and they would just ruffle it all out. Like, and even then that didn't work. I would still smell, I would still be gross, I would like, nobody taught me how to brush my teeth, or it was just such a crazy
The bare
thing,
minimum.
because, yeah, I literally didn't know how to live. And like, you know, I figured all of that out slowly and surely, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't live my whole life like that, I promise.
She's nasty.
But like in middle school, I really didn't take care of myself because my mental health was just in the gutter, you know? And that's why I think that mental health and physical health are just so closely intertwined, because I really didn't start taking care of myself until I realized like I have to take care of myself mentally as well. Like, nobody is here for me. I have to be here for myself. And the way that I can show up for myself is by eating right, by going out and working out, by going on hikes, by bike riding, you know, like I really started to enjoy my time outside, and like I enjoyed the time that I had with my friends whenever we would do activities, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would do active things. We would go ice skating, we would go on hikes, we would, you know, go on long walks in the park, or, you know, we would go on picnics. It was nice. It was really cool. And that's what really got me out of my shell and into thinking like, okay, well, physical fitness doesn't all have to be bad. Like, it doesn't all have to be like something so exhausting that you're just, oh my God, I can't believe it. But now
you got to start off little by little.
Exactly. But I'm finding satisfaction now in like tiring myself out at the gym by like lifting as heavy as I possibly can, by trying to do as many reps with the heaviest weight as much as I can. Like, it's not an obsession of mine, but it is a like journey of mine that I'm making, because I'm finally able to see like, oh my God, I'm so much stronger now. Like, I started this journey doing body weight exercises, and now I'm able to do like 320 pound hip thrusts. I can do like 410 pound leg presses, and like I'm really proud of where I've gotten in such a short amount of time since we started this physical like journey of ours. But yeah, I really just like felt like a lot of my haters, my family in particular, y'all suck it. No, I'm just kidding. I could beat up every single one of y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'm sorry that I called you out, but at the same time, stop calling out your young kids and trying to make them feel bad for things that you could help them with. Like, this is not out of your control. You know what I mean? You have every right to put whatever food you want in front of our faces, and we're going to have to eat it. You know, unless you teach us how to cook. You can teach me how to cook. You can teach me how to pick out chicken, but you can't teach me about nutrition. You can't teach me about, you know, like what is actually good for me to eat.
I mean, do they even know?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They don't. You know what I mean? Like, my mom still eats ramen, like, all the time. Ramyeon, like,
no,
bad shit.
Not
for
the sodium.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know? And that's why I'm just like, I'm actually good. Like, she'll give me all of this bad shit for me, and I'm just like, I'm good. Like, I don't want this anymore. I'm okay. And she's like, what? You don't eat like these cookies anymore? I'm like, no. Like, I'm holding myself accountable for what I put inside my body now. Like, I don't want you to have to dictate over whatever I put in my body anymore. Just because you don't want it anymore, just because you have too many, or like it was on sale. It's not my problem. I didn't want that. I didn't buy that. You know, like, this is your stuff. You can have it. I don't want it. Thank you.
Thank you, though.
Thinking of
I
me,
appreciate it.
No. But no, thank you.
But no, thank you.
What are our focuses with our physical selves?
My focus right now is I want to be my most healthiest, my most physical, like, what's the word? My prime self by 30.
Optimus
Prime by 30. Like, I want I just want to experience having the best body I think I can have by 30. Okay. So that's my goal. Financially, I want to be secure. I want to be able to go on trips. I want to be able to have like a decent job that sustains me and my life, my family that I want to create. So that I don't have to worry about nothing, you know? So it's all about making myself comfortable, more and more comfortable. So that's my goal.
With physical fitness, how do you think that you are going to be able to achieve that peak physicality that you want?
Inch by inch, like basically just going, like just trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, progressively overload. I don't know the word. Yeah, that's it.
Overload.
Yeah, so basically just getting better each day at a time, celebrating the little wins. Like today I hit 4 plates on my squat. There was a time in my life I never thought I was gonna be able to do that. Because I would just, I remember there was a time in my life where my chest press for dumbbells was only 35, and I thought that was like the best it was gonna get. Yeah. Because that's the mindset that I was in. I thought I was weak and I was gonna stay weak. Like I was incapable of growing. Wow. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But now that I'm proving to myself that I can, do that, I'm able to like go farther than I'm ever. So it doesn't seem that far out of reach to like be at my most healthiest, most like attractive, most hot person by 30. I want people to look at me and be like, "You're 30?"
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You know what I mean? I'm no way you're 30. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, bitch. Yeah. Take care of your skin. Yeah.
Period.
So.
Oh, then also skin. Do you take care of your skin?
I take care of my skin really, really well. Yeah, like I've been.
Like?
So when I was a kid in like high school, I was very much all about my skincare routine. Really? Like, yeah, it was actually overboard. Like I would have a toner. I would have that. Proactive
is overboard. Yeah,
proactive, like I had the kit.
Really?
Yeah, I had a kit that my parents got me, and I would like spend time on my skin, and I had a routine. And then even all the way to college, it's chilled out a lot since then. All I really do is drink water. And then I'll like wash my face with whatever I have in the shower. And then I have a toner that I spray on my face whenever I feel like a little bit.
Drinking water really does wonders for your skin.
Not a lot of people hydrate.
Yeah. If you ever break out or like, you're wondering, oh my God, where's all this like dark marks coming from? Why are my pores looking so big? It's probably because you haven't been hydrating yourself enough. Like, can't stress that enough because I look like I have really bad skin, like in person.
Really?
I think so because I see like, I used to have like a bunch of forehead pimples and like when I don't drink enough water. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I don't drink enough water, it's very apparent. Like all of my pores, my scars, my like dark spots, very apparent. It's crazy.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people like hydrate properly. It's so crazy to me. Yeah. Merlin's actually the one who's gotten me more like on that side because he drinks water all the fucking time. Whenever he gets a chance, he'll drink water.
I know.
Which I think is so good. Like, I think that's a good thing because
it's a good thing, but he needs to refill the Brita filter every once in a while.
He does do that.
No, he doesn't.
I don't do that.
That's
my problem.
Oh, okay. It's you then, problem. Bitch. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, literally. So it's you that leaves it empty. I found him, the culprit.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar?
But yeah, he's the one that got me onto that kind of vibe of like drinking more water and taking care of myself in that sense.
Good.
So that's good.
You
yeah.
Should.
I know. You have to.
Yeah. Then, okay, so progressive overload then. Do you know exactly like what that consists of?
So it's basically going up in weight consistently at like a even rate, you know what I mean? Like, so for example, the 2 plates, like the way I worked up to it was by applying 5 pounds each time that I did squats, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's the way it works. There was a time where like I could only do like maybe 6 reps of the 45s on each side. Yeah. And that was like I was done, you know what I mean? Like my legs are going to be sore. It was pretty good, but I could do better, you know what I mean? So that's what progressive overload is, just in case anybody's wondering. Like you just constantly apply, you just touch a little bit of extra weight, and hopefully in like a week's time, let your muscles heal, let your body heal, and then you're able to apply a 2.5 pound. So that's my strategy, is applying a 5 pound, and then okay, now I have a 5 pound. I know I could do that. My brain knows I can do that. Now I apply a 2.5 pound. And then after that, I apply another 5 pounds. So that's the way I so it's 5 pounds, 2.5 pounds next week. And then the next week after that, I do another 5 pounds. And then the week after that, I do a 0.51. And so that's the way I kind of tackle that.
I do progressive overload as well, but I do it within my rep range. So my rep range is between 5 and 7. So like
Perfect.
a power lifters.
Yes.
And whenever I hit 6, that's like that's like the sweet spot. But that's only if I'm feeling extremely like I'm about to fail. You know what I mean?
Yes. Also, training till failure is important.
Yeah. So whenever I hit 7, that's when I progressive overload. That's when I put on a little bit more weight until I can hit 6 with that. If I can only hit 5 with it, then I take a little bit of weight off until I can hit 6. So I always try to hit that sweet spot 6. Whenever I get over that much, then I'm like, okay, well, how much should I go over by? Like if I hit 8 to 10, then I'm like, okay, I can add another 5 pounds. And then I see how I feel after that. If I can still do over 7, or if I am at 7, then I do another 5 pounds.
Period.
And then I'm like, okay, girl. 10 pounds
It's a little
extra?
It's encouraging. You're all like, damn, okay, bitch.
It really is. And that's why I was like, I had posted something earlier last week whenever I was at the gym. I was at I think I was at 4 plates, like on each side for leg press. But then I was like, honestly, this feels kind of easy because I got 8 in a row, and I was like, oh damn, girl, okay, girl.
You'd be surprised how much you grow, you know what I mean, when you do progressive overloading,
so
you know
fast.
what I mean?
And so I put on like 10 pounds on each side because your legs are pretty strong. Whenever you grow muscle in your legs, like your muscle in your legs, especially for women, because of our hips, we have like very wide hips for like our stature, generally, childbearing hips, whatever, blah blah blah.
Whatever. Yeah.
It helps with your leg strength when you have wider hips. And so I was like, okay, 10 pounds on each side, and I was still hitting over 7. I was still hitting 8. So I was like, oh my god, like, wow, maybe I'll just put on another 10. And I was hitting 7, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll put 25 on each side. And I could put 25 on each side, and I was hitting the sweet spot 6.
Perfect.
I was like, wow, like that's a lot of growth that I did not expect, that I didn't know I had inside me.
Yes.
It's a wonderful growth thing, and it's not like I'm like bodybuilder status, like 4 plates sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but if you consistently go to the gym, if you do your cardio, if you take care of yourself, your diet is right, then you can hit that body, you can hit that peak that you want in your physical form, and also mind to muscle connection is such a big thing,
Yes.
and I think that we had first started talking about it whenever we went into the gym, like for serious. For real.
I remember you did a chest day with me once, and I think it was your first chest day ever, right?
Yeah. Because I never really thought that like, oh, I wanted, chest muscles or like back muscles, but it's not about that. It's about like a whole body experience and like being able to control my body in any situation, in any form, and also just having that ability to, I don't know, do pull-ups and like do divs and push-ups like that. Like, man, it's just so rewarding.
You grow, and you feel good about it, because you're actually making progress, and it makes you feel good about something.
Yes, exactly.
I think this kind of like goes back to like our burnout kind of episode, where the first thing that I kind of like feel good about is me working out again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like, oh, well, everything's kind of going wrong with my finances. At least I'm still lifting. You know what I mean?
Literally. Oopsie. At least something is going right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always nice to have a physical outlet as well, especially if you get frustrated easily, if you get angry, if you have a lot of emotions. Anxiety, panic disorder even. Like I used to have really bad panic attacks, honestly. And especially before I went to the gym. I don't have panic attacks anymore, like at all. I am able to like physically exert myself to the point where I feel really good still. I feel really fresh and I feel ready to tackle the day, but I also have physically exerted myself to the point where my mind isn't ruminating as much as it used to.
Exactly. Me as a Virgo moon, like I go to bed and I just can't go to bed.
Yeah.
And so working out, like, just because I think too much, and then, the working out part of my life, like I look forward to it because I get to look at videos that I really enjoy, such as like Leo Skepi, or like
yeah, I love
I
him.
get to do card readings and stuff like that. And it's stuff
Yeah.
that helps me feel better about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm able to like kind of like ease the like burden of thinking so much at the
Mm-hmm.
end of my day and when I'm laying down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm
That's
just
nice.
chilling because I went to the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that Merlin, when he doesn't go to the gym, we just talked about it today, is that he
Mm-hmm.
has restless leg syndrome. And
Oh,
so he'll like kick and
I
stuff.
feel it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like kick in his sleep. But when he works out, he doesn't kick in his sleep. So it's
Wow,
very interesting to
that
me
is
how different people's
interesting.
like going to the gym will help you with certain things, especially at nighttime, like when you're
Yes.
trying to go to bed and you just can't because you have so much energy or your thoughts are just going wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like start going to the gym and expending or expending some of this energy, I guess.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's actually like scientifically proven. Well, they always say that they recommend 30 minutes of like physical activity a day. It doesn't matter
Right.
what it is, it just needs to be something physical where your heart rate is going above resting heart rate.
Right.
Um, and that could be anything. That could be like playing hockey, that could be skateboarding, that could be going to the gym and lifting. It could look like all different kinds of physical activities. Like it doesn't have to
There's so
be.
many out there.
Yeah, and it could
Bike
all be
riding.
indoors too,
Yeah, you could.
Like, it doesn't have to be out in the Texas fucking heat,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Also, it helps you just stay active. You know what I mean? Like staying active is important, especially when you have like a house to clean
Yes.
and like dishes to do. Like you're
Mhm.
able to kind of like just kind of like ride that wave of, okay, I was at the gym, now let me
Mhm.
just do these dishes real quick or something. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me sweep the floor is what
Mhm.
I did when I got home from the gym today, for example,
Nice. It's good to like habit stack on top of
Yes.
everything. Um, so I kind of wanted to talk about this. I didn't put this inside of our message, but
Go ahead.
do you have a morning routine? Do you have like a ritual that you do when you wake up in the morning?
I don't. But
Okay.
I've been doing some research on like different things that would benefit me,
Mhm.
and I think I want to start just like taking like a quick cold shower in the morning just to start off
Nice.
easy,
Yeah.
cuz I am a very groggy person when I wake
Mhm.
up.
I know.
I hate waking up.
I know.
I wish I had stayed asleep forever.
No, 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 no.
I know, right? I know, right?
No, 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 not allowed to.
Um, I just feel like that because it's so hard for me to fall asleep sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
like waking up is just like even more of a hassle.
Yeah, like I just got to sleep. What
Yeah.
do you mean?
And sometimes there's some nights where I feel like I blink and then I'm awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I
hate
feel that.
those. But I feel like my morning routine, I don't have one at all, like
Mm-hmm.
at all. But I think that's something that I'm definitely going to tackle here coming up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I feel
yeah.
it because I just been doing a lot of research on ways to like get me moving because
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to start a job where it requires me to be up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I love that. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
used to be a teacher and
Yeah.
it was like too early.
Yeah.
And then this is like kind of like a sweet spot.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
the cold showers, let's just integrate that. And then I
Yeah.
got a coffee maker so
Nice.
I can set that to start brewing at a certain time.
Period.
And then my
Period.
coffee will be done and then I'll have my coffee. I drink a glass of water. Like those are things
Nice.
that I want to implement.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
That's good.
What about you? Do you have like a morning routine?
I do. I do. And it's because like it is scientifically proven again, like that having something to look forward to in the morning, it's kind of like a placebo effect of like, okay, well, I have to get things done. You know what I mean? When
Mm-hmm.
you start off your day being productive, it sets up the rest of your day to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of got into that mindset of like, okay, well, if I have a morning routine, if I have like a little ritual that I do that is enjoyable to me, it'll benefit me in the long run because then I'm just doing that like for myself.
Right.
And it's for my own physical benefit. So when I wake up in the morning, I actually have been using that sunrise clock.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Like I wake up immediately and I'm like, oh my God, it's time. It's the
Get up.
sunlight. I gotta wake up and every once in a while when I set the alarm at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, I'm like, okay, no. Like this morning, I turned it off. I was like, nope, today is a rest
Today's
day.
not the day.
Yeah, no. And so I woke up at 7. I usually wake up at 7 for school because I leave by 8:15 to go to school because the school's like 15 minutes away. But if anybody is ever having like a difficult time trying to build their morning routine, I say like, if you have to be somewhere in the morning like I do, go backwards from that time and plan your day out like that. That's how I started my days.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's how I started my days out. And I tried to implement that schedule like a week before I started school as well.
Yeah, starting ahead so that you're acclimated.
Exactly.
Is definitely key. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to start that, but you know.
Gotta. So I put a time on like when I need to get to school. I want to get to school by 8:45. So that means that my drive, it's going to be 15 to 20 minutes long. So I have to leave the house by like 8:20, 8:30. But I leave the house by 8:15 because I give myself that extra time to bike to work, to school. So it only takes me about like 3 to 5 minutes to bike to school, but you never know, there might be like other things that I have to account for with traffic, and like also just bike riding downtown is kind of hectic and dangerous and like weird,
especially in the morning.
Yeah,
I feel.
Exactly. So that's when I told myself, okay, I'm gonna leave by 8:15, so there's anything that I can account for, I don't have to worry about that, and I'm not gonna be late for school. 15 minutes to drink a glass of water and to have a small breakfast, you know, like a bagel with peanut butter or like a banana and some like fruit or whatever I have ready. Oatmeal. Who doesn't love a good oat?
Me and Merlin been eating oatmeal left and right. Honestly,
I love oatmeal,
me too.
Honestly, and then I'm like, okay, well, that takes about 15 minutes. It takes me about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, to get ready, like to put my clothes on, to brush my teeth, to do my skin care, and to put a little bit of makeup on. And I'm like, okay, so 7:45, and then by 7:30, like, you know, I want to like shower, I want to go to the bathroom, I want to give myself a little bit of time to wake up. I do a little meditation in the morning. I only do 5 minutes, but 5 minutes is better than nothing. Yeah, exactly. Right now it's too fucking hot outside for me to do it outside, but before, when it wasn't this hot, right, I would go outside and do it because they say that sunlight is very good for waking you up, like naturally.
Vitamin D, yep.
Yeah, and your circadian rhythm as well. It apparently helps with your circadian rhythm a lot if you spend your days.
Yeah, that bitch is completely fucked up in my opinion. And for me, it's completely messed up.
Especially if you work indoors, like for most of the day, it's kind of vital for you to get that sunlight in the morning. And I feel like I get enough sun on my bike ride when I go to school. So I'm like, okay, I'm good without meditating outside. And so, yeah, then I'll put me back at 7:15. It takes me a minute to get up out of bed and to like make it and like actually get ready for the day and like be like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm also pretty groggy in the morning, right, but I'm like, I have to feel a little bit more refreshed, you know what I mean? Like, it takes me a minute, so 15 minutes is a good amount of time for me to like finally get my day started. So, but after that, I'm like, okay, well, first thing that I do when I get out of bed is make my bed so that I feel productive. You know, I hadn't done that in the last like week or so, but that was just because I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to keep my big bed sheet on, my big blanket on because it's so fucking hot, right, or if I should just switch to having a sheet, but it's like too cold with just a sheet, but right, it's too hot with the blanket. So I'm like,
you need a good in between.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how I built my morning routine, is going backwards.
I'm glad you gave the examples because I feel like not a lot of people know how to approach it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just approaching it like adding a couple things, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's also very viable. You know what I mean? Like,
how did you start like implementing it? Or did you just set like, I'm going to do all this chunk of stuff?
No.
Or did you like, okay, I'm going to wake up at this time and I'm going to do this? Or
so I tried
inch by inch.
Yeah, inch by inch, you know. I tried to like do all of the good habits that I wanted, but that is not possible for me to accomplish in such a short amount of time. I only did it for one day. So,
at least you tried. Not a lot of people even try. So.
I tried. I did it one day, and then the next day I was like, that was a lot for me to accomplish. Yeah. And I was exhausted by the next day. It was so weird. But I tried to do this like 30-day habit challenge. I only got up to like day 20 and I only filmed like 7 days of it. Yeah. But it's okay because
It was more for you than it was for...
Exactly. And I got the good habits that I actually want to keep and the things that actually fulfill me as a person.
And then everything else that didn't apply, you just kind of like threw it to the wayside. And it's like, oh, that's not for me.
Pretty much, yeah. Like taking a shot of apple cider vinegar. Oh my God, dude, that shit tastes horrific. But
they have like little gummies.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But it felt horrific as well to like drink it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna.
Not me with my IBS in the morning. I can't do that.
I know, but it helps with your glucose levels from spiking throughout the rest of the day when you drink apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach. But now I'm like, okay, well, what really truly services me and my higher self? Like drinking a glass of water that serves me and my purpose of being alive.
Mm-hmm. I notice that I'm more groggy when I don't drink a glass of water in the morning.
Exactly. You have to. On cold days, I drink like a warm glass of water.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning. But right now it's so fucking hot in Texas that I'm just like, okay, I just need a cold glass of
I'll put ice in cold water.
Yes, yeah. And just wipe the ice all over my face too while I'm at it.
Absorb it any way I can.
Yeah, anyway. I stretch, which is really amazing, especially after a long night's sleep on your back or on your side. I'm a side sleeper, and that shit is heavy on my shoulder. I'm trying to be a back sleeper now, but yeah, you gotta touch your toes, do a little side action.
Google it.
Yes, exactly. Meditation, that really helps with making my mind at peace with my physical self, and also it like puts me in tune with my physical self. So if there's anything wrong, then I can spot it right away.
Right.
I can be like, oh my gosh, I didn't feel that pain yesterday. Like, why do I feel this pain right now?
Or like, damn, my freaking back is stiff. Let me stretch that real quick.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Exactly.
My friend Mariah, she's a nurse and she stretches every morning. So, or at least when I knew her in college, she would stretch every morning. Or every time she would wake up from a nap, she would also stretch.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're like in one position for such a long time. I highly recommend that too whenever you're sitting down. Like, people have office jobs.
Yeah.
People sit down a lot. Like,
for artists, I recommend it heavily. Like, I'm always like, do your stretches.
And food service too. You're on your feet all day. Like, please stretch your back, especially. Like, your back cannot be handling all of that pressure. My back was literally so fucked up from when I was 16 all the way up until now. Only now, when I'm 26, a decade later, that I'm actually like taking care of myself. I'm stretching and everything. I actually feel good.
You feel better than what you were doing beforehand.
Yeah. The craziest thing. I was crazy. Like, I don't remember a time that I was never in pain.
Yes, literally. You feel better.
And now I feel so 10,000 times better. I swear. I swear on my life.
On my life, bro.
Stretch, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eating in the morning. People tend to fast. I understand, like, like digestion and everything. That's fine every once in a while, but your body isn't used to that all the time. Mm-hmm. And your body will continue to like retain that fat, that indigestion, especially if you do have like digestive issues like I do. I have acid reflux. I don't know if I have IBS. I don't think I do anymore.
I just say that as a joke.
I used to, because I was a super stressed out little bitch. You know what I'm saying? I used to have hemorrhoids.
Not the hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids, yeah.
I know. I hate hemorrhoids.
I know. I don't anymore. But
God forbid.
It was just because I was so stressed out, and like it really affected my whole physical self. So take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself, period. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's what this is about. Like this whole like episode, take care of yourself. Exactly. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Like, like you said, that I said.
Exactly. Period. Destiny, my love. I know I love her.
Shout out Destiny. You. I love that she just keeps asking us questions. Thank you, B.
Her.
Shout out.
She asked, what do you do whenever you feel unmotivated to like keep going with your journey?
Whew, that's a very good question. So there's some days that I just don't feel like going, or I'm tired and I'm exhausted. My mind is just like, maybe somebody hurt my feelings and I'm not feeling it. Like, I'll just go and do what I can. Just do what you can.
Just show up.
Just show up for yourself, really.
Well, the thing is I like to refer back to Atomic Habits with this
I love that
situation. Book. Yeah. I'm sorry, Destiny. I know I promised you that I would lend you that book, but I lent out both of my copies to people and they haven't given them back. Yeah.
How long it take to read a book?
That's what I'm saying. Where's my book at, y'all?
Oh, you could also look it up online. It's free on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. You can listen to the audio copy of it too. And I'm sure there's PDFs of it. And there's even YouTube videos that like give you short reviews of it.
Yeah.
Overviews, I mean. But basically what he says is even if you just show up to the gym parking lot, even if you just go for 5 minutes, you still did it. You still completed that task. You still got that habit in your mind. So show up for yourself, but also just show up physically for that habit that you want to instill in yourself so that your mind starts getting used to that idea. Because honest to God, whenever we started our physical journey, I was like, I'm so unmotivated. I don't want to go to the gym unless Angel's going to the gym. I don't want to like keep going. And I'm not even making any progress. Like, what am I even here for? I'm just doing cardio the whole time. And then as soon as I started going there, I started taking things more seriously. I started asking more questions. Like, I started watching more videos too. That started motivating me
yourself.
too.
Educate yourself.
And honestly, there's a lot of gym baddies on like TikTok, on
They
YouTube.
motivate you.
And they're funny about it too.
Yes.
Like, there's so many funny ass videos that
Give
I'm
us
just like.
What shout out? What shout out do you have? Do you watch somebody in particular?
I like Lean Beef Patty.
Oh,
she's
yes.
very funny.
Yes.
Merlin put me on her. And then
shout out Merlin.
Yes. And there's also this other girl. I watch her on YouTube. I forgot her name already, but she's very funny. She's like a southern little lady, and she like lifts like a good amount, and she'll just like go at it, and she'll be like, all right, y'all, it's time for, you guessed it, hip thrusts.
Oh, I've seen her. Ready? She's like
like she makes like the
I know who you're talking. She's blonde, right? Or
yes,
something? Yeah, I love her. She's so
funny. She's so cute too.
And it also shows her demonstrating that shows you how you should be treating yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be rude to yourself. You can be like, come on, baby, you got this. You got this. Yeah, that's how I was today during my my squats. I'm very much like, come on, baby, you got this. This is some lightweight. You just did the 2.5. You got the 5. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to be your biggest motivator.
Yes.
You have to be the person that's like looking out for yourself. You are the one that's going to the gym for yourself. Like, you should not be going to the gym for anybody else but yourself.
That was my mindset back then. You know what I mean? It doesn't work out because then you're all like, damn, I'm like letting people down, or like nobody's gonna love me unless I'm look like a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just not true. Like, you should want to be healthy and like physically pleasing for yourself. You know what I mean?
And you physically exerting yourself at the gym, at hiking, whatever you do, that's you showing up for yourself. That's you showing love to yourself as well.
Showing love.
And so if you ever feel unmotivated, you should honestly ask yourself, well, do I love myself? Do I love my human self and all of my flaws and all of this world? Do I still want to continue, And your honest answer should be yes. Like, I understand that there are days that, you can't show up for yourself, that you feel really down in the dumps. Like today, I felt really fucking down in the dumps. I didn't want to show up for myself, and I just took it as a rest day. I honestly was like, you know what? Life's getting a little bit too much for me. I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to rest for a second because I deserve this and I need this. But I know that tomorrow, whenever if I feel unmotivated tomorrow, I have to be like, I can't be like this. I have to show up for myself.
Right.
If I'm not going to depend on myself, then who can I depend on?
Period.
Nobody.
Period.
So I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm going to fucking lift that shit, bitch. Okay?
I love that.
Period.
She did, like, the reason why I'm laughing is just because, like, you were not like this beforehand. Yeah, so it's just, like, seeing this from that to this is, like, very, like, I like it. Y'all, go off, bitch.
And I actually, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
This weekend on Sunday, before you had come, actually, it was while I was still volunteering at my school's booth. We were right next to this... clothing line, I guess, or it's a company called Grunt Style, and there was this Impact wrestler. His name was Ziggy Dice, and he was up there like hyping everybody up. He did like a cosplay contest. The day before, he did a push-up contest, and that day that I was there, I was like, oh man, this guy, you know, he's just hyping everybody up. It's a good time. But he was like, all right, squat contest, let's do it. And I was like looking at my classmates. I was like, I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to see how far it can go, honestly. And they were like, do it. Fucking do it. Go. And I was like, oh.
Shout out.
Yeah, right.
Shout out
Literally.
classmates.
Shout out classmates. Thank you for hyping me up. They actually volunteered me because I was like, nah, it's okay. I won't do it. And they're like, nah, do it. And he was like, Ziggy, this girl over here, she wants to do it. And he's like, all right, well, come on up. And I'm like, no. Oh no. But like they let all the little kids do it first, and then all the adults did it. And like after 150, 180, a bunch of people tapped out, but then it was just me and this 13-year-old guy, and we were both in jeans. I was in a t-shirt, he was in a cosplay, and we were fucking going at it. And our form was really good too. Like our asses were almost down to the fucking ground.
Period.
Bitch, I
Come on,
swear.
form.
And I went up to 260 squats. Like my
Free
quads
weight.
are still screaming today. But that kid, he went up to 280.
Damn.
I know. I wanted to beat him so fucking bad, but
Competition is always a good thing.
yeah. You know what I mean? I just wanted to do it, but we were like, you know, camaraderie. I would give him a fist bump every time that they would give us like a 5-second rest. Y'all, it was in a row. Like they literally did not let us rest for more than 5 seconds.
Right.
He was literally like, all right, 240. He got tired of counting even. He stopped counting for like two counts.
Come on.
And I was all like, bro, you're not even working out. I'm like, come on with it.
Get your mind in the game.
So it was cool. It was really
That sounds
nice.
like so much fun.
Yeah, it was, honestly.
When you told me that, I thought you said you lifted, like you squatted 260.
Hell
I was
no.
all like, damn.
Hell no, girl.
That's more than me.
Oh my god. Yeah,
You basically squatted me.
That's-
So I was like, damn,
maybe I
girl.
could.
And I was like thinking to myself, it's like, that's crazy. And then you told me it was like, no, 260 squats in a row. I was
I
like,
mean, that's
oh,
still
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's still
pretty
impressive.
good. Yeah, you know. From a girl that used to like do 20 and be like, oh my god, that was exhausting. But now I can do 260 of them. Girl, I don't even know how many times that multiplied. I can't do
You
math in
more
my
than
head.
doubled that.
Yeah.
You more than double what you were. So
Yeah, that's
it just
crazy
goes to
thing.
show like what a little bit of like TLC for your body can do for you. You know what I mean?
Period, girl.
So that's what I tell
amazing.
people.
Yeah, I love it, honestly. Yeah, basically that was it. Other than, I don't know if you want to talk about your gym routine. Do you have like a bodybuilder like kind of?
I would say, well, I have like a back day, back and bicep, and then I do a chest and tricep, and then I'll do leg days, and then I'll have like an arm day, and then all of those days I'll do cardio.
Okay.
And then on my leg days I'm starting to train abs more.
Ooh, nice.
So
I
I'm
love
just
that.
trying to become well-rounded in this stuff. Merlin does like a pull and push day. So that's another example of like what you can do. I have been on that routine before, especially when I was training with my my old best friend Sergio. Like he's a bodybuilder, so that's how he trained. He would do push, pull, leg, and then incorporate a bunch of different stuff. So
Nice.
he's a professional.
That's very cool.
So me, I'll just do a back and like break it down easy, back and bis,
yeah.
chest and tris,
Yes.
arm day, leg day, and then I'll repeat whatever one that like each month I'll have like a focus. So for example, I wasn't planning on showing this, but let me show you all this.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
Do it.
Let's see. Hold on, let me find it real quick. It's in my favorites.
Nice. I also keep like a workout log on my notes.
Me too, yeah.
I thought that it was a really good idea when you started bringing your journal with you.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't want to keep writing every between every set.
Yeah, it
What
was
do I
a little
have on me?
excessive. Like it was cute for a moment, but I just started keeping it in my phone.
Yeah, same.
But for example, like Aries season is like head. So for example, that would be like my mind body connection with my body.
Ooh.
Taurus season is like neck. So I'll like focus on my traps. Like those are like accessory things that I would do. Gemini season is arms. So I really focused on my arms during Gemini season. Cancer season is breasts. So I've been fucking killing my chest muscles.
Wow.
Leo season is coming up.
didn't
So that's the heart. And so I'm going to be doing like a lot of cardio when Leo season hits. A lot of like getting my heart rate up. Virgo season is your belly. Libra is reigns, which I don't know. I have to look that up. Scorpio is secrets. So I'm just going to pick whatever for that one. Sagittarius is thighs.
Of course, baby. No,
thighs. Capricorn is knees, so also legs. Aquarius is legs, and Pisces is feet. So just like, I just like have this little guide. Like I don't treat it that seriously, but I just find it interesting that each one of these things, like each sign of the zodiac has like a certain body part that you focus on. And I just think that's like so just cool. A cute little thing to see what
I never even knew that, honestly. That's so cool, honestly. That's
I like that. I don't know what that secret thing is, though.
Yeah.
I have to look at that. Come on, Scorpios. What's the secret? Yeah. What's the secret? What's the secret?
Well, it's the Scorpio, so
period.
They like try to make themselves a little too mysterious, if I might say so.
I know, right?
It's annoying.
It's so silly. It's so silly.
Because you're not mysterious, okay?
God bless
Derek?
you.
No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't watch our podcast. It's fine.
Oh, he should.
I know.
You should send him this episode. Yeah, I was gonna send my brothers this episode because they're trying to get on their health shit, and so yeah, I just wanted us to like kind of like put it out there, like what we're doing. Like I'm not even like at what I would like to be, you know what I mean? But same. I've come a long way.
Yeah.
And where I was. You
have to take a moment to appreciate how far you have come from when you had started. And I think that you came a long, long way. Like we were just talking about it today at HEB, like when we were leaving HEB, we're like, wow, we honestly have come a long fucking way. Yeah. With our
it helps having an accountability buddy. Yes, you know what I mean?
It does. It does.
Not only just you, but also I have Merlin.
Yes, yeah.
You know, when I lived in Corpus, I had Sergio, my mom, my dad also like would hype me up. You know what I mean? Awesome. So it's just little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much all that we really had. I mean, I don't know if you want to show you off your outfit or.
I'm good.
Cool.
I'm uncomfortable.
Stop. Whatever.
It's fine.
He starts crying.
I know, right?
Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us talk about the physicality of things. If you want to see more of our physical journeys, follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
His is avocado_puppy.
Period.
On Instagram, by the way.
Also YouTube.
Yes, and YouTube. And mine's first.generation, only on Instagram. First Generation on YouTube. Any other plugs you would like to put in?
Check out my Patreon, my Instagram, YouTube channel. Feel free to go and check out my live streams. I live stream every Sunday around 6. It might be changing soon because of my new job, but I'll let y'all know for sure on my Instagram. That's the best place to follow everything that I do.
Yes, same here. I will put our link trees underneath in the description box below. I also have, if you feel like you need to talk to anybody, if your friends are not available, your family, if you don't have anybody close that you consider close enough and trustworthy enough to talk to, I will also link the National Suicide Hotline down below. You can always call them with any kind of worries you might have. They're also there to just lend a hearing ear. So, you know, there's that resource for you.
Period.
But other than that, thank you for watching.
Thank y'all for watching.
This is our first pre-recorded.
Ba, 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 ba.